Hi, Daddy. What you doing?
You doing the regatta shuffle right now? Oh, a little sculling and scooping. Some conk style and thing. Well, let's go. Scully, you can have fun.
Yo, it's your boy Dice Knight, and welcome to episode 8, season 2 of the Sup'm Show. And today's topic is what men find disrespectful. We also have the ever beautiful, immaculate
Hey.
Baha Nurse in the building. I like it. Okay, Baha.nurse. What's up, Ants?
Nada.
We didn't miss you for 2 weeks.
Oh, gosh.
Had people on here crying.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
There's been a lot. Life has
yeah?
been lifing. I'll say that.
Yeah,
Life has been
yeah.
lifing.
I agree.
But happy to be back.
Awesome. And I got a question for you at the top of the show. And I think this is where I kind of pull this whole topic from. Is it possible for women to love a man she doesn't respect? I'll let you ponder on that for a while.
She could love him, but it would be feel sorry for you love.
I feel sorry for you love?
Yeah, it wouldn't be
like
in love. It would be I care about this person, but
would you want that kind of love?
No.
Okay, so
No.
it ain't.
You mean like
if
for
it ain't the type of love that you
definitely
want?
not. No.
That's like when your parents have to cut your hip, and they'd be like, "I'm doing this because I love you." Like, you don't really want to cut hip, and you're supposed to understand that it's coming from a place of love. Like, you don't really want the relationship as a man. I mean, you don't want the relationship from the woman. But you have to understand that she's acting that way in the relationship because of love. That don't.
No.
It don't seem sensible to me.
I could not be with a man that I did not respect.
Boom. So now I feel like in a lot of ways, either women don't know when they're being disrespectful, or there's and this is something that we talk about in the Sup'm Show often, there's a shift in culture where in how, I guess, respect has been reclassified, recategorized, or kind of morphed into some state of, I don't know, it seems a bit like a flippant action on the behalf of, and I think on both sides, like you're flippantly respectful. You don't really deep down in your core respect the person you with or the relationship to a certain degree. And I'm not talking about this not saying that all relationships are like this, but a lot of relationships kind of exist in the space where it's not even going through the motions. It's like there's so much that a man has to do consistently,
right,
in order to maintain the level of respect that, that he would want to, I guess, receive as being the type of relationship he wants to be in. Like, I want to be in a relationship with a woman who respects me. I'm saying that as a man, saying that with my chest. You know what I mean? I want to be in a relationship with a woman who she respects me. I can say without a shadow of a doubt that, when she gets in her girls talk, if she's saying something that she would say something to her girls that she would never want her girls, or she would never herself want said in my face. Now, I saying that I don't believe men are perfect. Why are you looking like that? What you thinking? Tell me how that made you feel.
Here's the thing. So I know that people vent, right?
Yeah, of course.
People vent. I was going to say women vent, but men vent too to their friends, right?
Absolutely.
But I feel like sometimes if you're not venting to the right person, they won't correct you, in the wrong. Because,
That's powerful.
you know what I mean? Because if you have a friend who is venting to you um, about their partner, and the partner may be wrong, but the things that they are saying that they said to the partner is just kind of glazed over because that's the friend. And they could be
Mm.
disrespectful, unhinged things, but sometimes it's just kind of glazed right over because this is my friend. I gotta have my friends back. Well, that's not me. I'm not that friend.
You know who else isn't that friend?
Oh,
Who
definitely.
needs some who needs some chastising? Who needs some chastising today? I'm just saying. Who needs it?
All right. So continue on, odds. Will you finish fleshing out your thought?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think Juan was listening backstage, and
A
I
little bit.
find even yeah, even in our one-on-one conversations, when Juan is offering me a bit of coaching, I can tell that he is not the type of friend. Yeah, but you just don't know when you coaching me,
You're
but I be
right.
listening.
Yeah.
I know. It
Yeah.
is.
He wouldn't baby my position on, because sometimes you tend to lie to yourself, um to try to make you feel good even when you're wrong. And I think what you said just now, Ans, is extremely important when you surround yourself with friends who could tell you when you're wrong,
Absolutely.
right? Because they don't ain't doing you no
Absolutely.
favors to
Correct.
tell you you're right. So um yeah, this topic of what men find disrespectful, and me
Mhm.
feeling like women sometimes don't know when they're being disrespectful. I think in this day and age, and I think every day and age, pride is still important for men. Like I myself may not be a boastful person. Like I don't boast
You're,
to
you're humble.
feel proud, you
Right.
know.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Um, but it pinches a nerve when I'm not acknowledged for what I bring to the table, and not acknowledged as not meaning not being praised, but when it's kind of like pushed to the side as if it doesn't matter, right? I find a tinge of disrespect in ungratefulness. Um, and it usually comes in the form of
Let me hear this.
the way a person speaks to me.
The tone.
Like,
Mm.
yeah, the tone. I think the tone and the context,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So if let's say, okay, let's say I do something like if I clean the kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
and this statement a statement comes something like this. This isn't what it is, but I'm just trying to come up with
Sure.
something random.
Sure.
The statement is, do I have to teach you how to clean the kitchen too? Like, to me, that's not only rude, that's ungrateful, and I find it to be a bit disrespectful. Go ahead. Juan.
May I?
Absolutely.
Here's the thing, right? I wouldn't even say as men, as just people in general. It could be a man or a woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
What we need to do is we need to stop seeking validation from anyone.
Mm. Mm.
You know what I mean? This goes for male and female, particularly for male. Like touching on what you just said just now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you know you clean the kitchen, and this is just an example, we're not saying that is what we're talking
Sure.
about. Just
Yeah.
this example here. If you know you clean the kitchen, bro, you clean the kitchen. You understand?
Fine. Mhm.
Somebody saying, if I got to teach you this, listen, you got to learn how to let that fly right over your head, bro. Because you're never going to be satisfactory to anyone 100%. And that even goes for your spouse. This goes for a wife or for a husband. Sometimes you just got to know how to walk away and leave it the way it is because you know what you're doing. You know you clean the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
I
perhaps you're not cleaning it up to her standards, but the point is you clean the kitchen,
yeah.
especially if that's something you don't do on a regular basis. You know, you're making an attempt to bridge the gap to be a helping hand at least. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if it's like I'm gonna teach you, bro, I won't even waste time even answering that. I ain't even gonna answer it. But that's just
But
me personally.
I'll say
Go
this
ahead, Hans.
for and okay. So we doing the kitchen analogy, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And you just clean the kitchen to your standard, right? A woman who respects you and loves you will not even speak to you like that.
exactly.
If there's a part of the kitchen that she likes done a certain way, say for instance you did all the dishes, you did the counter, but she noticed some crumbs still under the line in the on the counter, she would
She
get the
gonna jump
broom
in.
and exactly, she would
Hmm.
get the broom and oh let me do, and as the man you may even want to be like, oh I missed that spot, but it's like no no no,
Exactly.
you did the dishes on the counter, I got the floor, I'll cover
Right.
the floor.
I
So
don't
for a
like where the season
person
two going. Me and Hans agreeing too much. I don't like the season going.
but,
I don't like the season
but
going.
it's for a wife to say that to, for a woman to say that to her guy, to her partner,
Uh-huh.
she already feels some type of way about him. It's to a
Yeah.
point where you breathing too loud may just totally annoy her.
Agreed.
So
But granted, now here's the thing, let me just drop this pebble in there. It may not even be that she's
About the kitchen.
disres. It may not even be about the kitchen, and it may not even be that in that space that, especially if this is something she's done before, that she disrespects you. She may literally, it may literally be about hormones.
Yeah.
Hormones. I am telling you,
that's y'all giving me
it.
so much to unpack.
Look at Tyson's face.
I trying to write all this
Hear
down.
me
I mean,
out. It
okay,
can
go ahead,
literally be
please.
about hormones. And I now again, this is with context. This is a woman who has never said talk to you like this before. Okay?
Right.
Before
Okay.
you
Okay.
did this, she's never said anything like this to you before. But in this moment, that was the reaction she had to you. So I would say, as her partner, if you know this is not normal for her, she usually is grateful for the things that you do, and this is the way she reacts. If I were him, I would be like, okay, what's wrong? Nothing is wrong. I am
I
telling you.
mean, okay,
I am
so
telling you. I am telling you. I am telling you.
I'm
Hormones.
not
this
disputing the fact that you're
Hormones are
right.
diabolical.
I'm not disputing. You're probably right, but part of
But
let
and
me
I'll
start.
say this though, and I'll say this, and in that
Yeah.
moment, she may not even realize that she is being snippy at you
oof.
unless you say, "Okay, that was a little
Yeah, God.
harsh," and then she may be able to regulate and be like, "I'm sorry, it's not you. It's not you. It's not even the kitchen.
How
I
about if you
just
say?
got this going on."
How about if you say, you know what? Just do the damn dishes yourself. There you go.
And that's often my response.
but
That is all.
but see, that's not you responding in compassion.
I agree. That's
That's
why
you
I felt like
responding in ego.
you pushed me up against a wall just now because if it's a situation where she is in a capacity that is uncontrollable without, I guess, maximum effort, because I
Right.
would imagine that it takes maximum effort for her to play that situation out in her head before she spoke,
Right.
right? And if
Right.
she had played it out in her head before she spoke, she wouldn't have said it,
She will
regardless
blah.
of the hormones.
Correct.
And I but that's how I feel. I feel like that. Like I'm constantly in that state. That's why a lot of times, even on the show, it would take me a long time to get my point out because I'm playing things forward in my head, and then saying, okay, that's not exactly it. That's not what I want to say. I don't want people to feel X, Y, and Z about it. And I would think that a relationship, okay, two things. A relationship would be that important that you would want to not step on
Of course.
someone's toes.
Yes.
And you would want to be if you all right, so to be disrespectful is to to intentionally use tactics to inflict pain, right? It's when
Right.
you're being disrespectful. You intentionally use tactics to inflict pain.
Rude.
Yeah, it's intentional. Disrespect is often intentional. Often.
Yeah.
Not always, like you said, it could be hormones. And at that point, I can't call it intentional.
Right.
However,
Mhm.
what you're saying to me, and it's something no man with normal levels of estrogen would be able to understand what it is to be hormonal. But I
Right.
guess one often says that there's some dudes out there with plenty feelings, right?
Plenty. His hormone kicking more than hers. Plenty. Hey, she borrowing. He in the bathroom borrowing her tampons.
Oh gosh.
but I think this thing kind of comes full circle when we think about, okay, if you in your hormones, and I can't understand that you in your hormones,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of impasse is that? Like, how do we encourage people that watch the Sup'm show, especially men?
So I can tell you what my husband does.
Okay.
What my husband did.
All right. All right.
And I will also lead by saying I'm never disrespectful to him, but there has been times where just little things kind of tick to me, right? So
Right.
here's
Right.
what he's done. He downloaded the menstrual calendar that I have on my phone. No joke. He downloaded it.
That
when
is kind of funny.
I don't even know
When
how to
it's-
receive that. But go ahead.
Listen to me. He knows when it's coming. He knows the luteal phase that's in between. So
that is hilarious.
hey,
That is. Oh yeah, okay, she's snappy. Let me see. Oh, okay, yeah. All right. I ain't got to worry about that.
It's not even disrespect. It's more. I may be more short than I normally am, or whatnot, or irritable in a sense where, okay, I was just hot, now I'm cold. Now why are you taking all the blanket? Because now I'm freezing and blah 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 blah. You know, but this is the thing. So this is why I feel like couples should always give 100% of themselves when they can. Because even when I'm in that space, that irritability, it's overpowered by him. Okay, yeah, you irritable, but come give me a hug anyway. And it's like, no matter, it's like, oh, okay, all right, you are overreacting, you're doing the most, relax. Because
That's
in
the
that,
one.
I'm saying, because in that space, I mean, no, because in that space, I may only be able to give a solid 30%.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
You're a different breed. You're a different breed of man, boy. I'm telling you. No,
No,
boy.
but
Anyway.
that's valuable.
But
That is
no,
extremely
but so
valuable.
what I'm saying is, you when you know your partner, you go out of it's you. There is nothing. Oh gosh, he's right. He's right. I was. But here's the thing. This is why it's good to have people around you who are
Mhm.
not afraid to check you. Because
Yes.
my brother and his family were visiting me. And my brother called me into the room, the guest room. They were staying in here at our house. And he says, sis, why are you talking to Ken like that? And I said, like what? And he said, like that.
Mm.
I did not even realize that
Mm.
that's how I was shifting. But I will tell you, I remembered going to my doctor in tears because I did not like my husband.
Mm.
And she laughed at me. And I'm sitting there like, why are you laughing? She said, it is the hormones. After the hormones, it will go back to normal. And I literally, in moments where I did not even enjoy his smell, in my
Uh-huh.
mind, I would say, this is a man that I love. Before I was
Mm,
pregnant, I could not keep myself away from him. This is not me. This is the thing that I would say to myself so that I could stop my body from wanting to be unkind to someone that I adore. And that's what I did. I remember he would come out of the shower and I'd be like, up, I don't like that smell. I feel like I'm going to vomit. He would go right back in and use a different soap that was milder. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let me tell
God.
you, to this day, and now mind you, I wouldn't say it in a rude way, but I would physically be sick to my stomach because of the scent of the soap. And to this, after our son was delivered, hormones went back to normal. It was like, thank you, God. It was, for me, it was back to normal. And
right.
I'll tell you this though, our son, our son, to this day, if his daddy is snuggled up under me, he wants him to move. He
Why?
still
Mm,
thinks he owns me. Now, granted, we don't entertain that because it's husband and wife and then
right, right,
kids.
right, right.
But it's always my husband and I laugh at it sometimes now because he'll tell him this is exactly why my
Yeah,
wife was acting up
yeah,
because
yeah.
from
From
the
he was in the womb,
womb
he was pushing you
you
away.
you were pushing you away, so
Wow.
phew, yeah. So I say that to say hormones, I'm telling you, they literally
Mm.
mess with the brain.
Okay, so can we assist the men that watch the Sup'm show in being able to detect and qualify when a woman is being a bit disrespectful because of her hormones, in which I guess should be excused or not treated as an attack?
If she's being insulting, that's just her being blatantly rude. That's not hormones. If she's
Okay.
insulting you, calling you out of your name or whatnot, that's stuff she always wanted to say. Now,
Mm.
sometimes you can gauge hormones because they may be a little bit more irritable, a little bit more short. Um, so it shouldn't be a way where it's like, wow, that's how you feel about me? That ain't hormones. That's someone being rude and disrespectful.
Okay.
You know
Okay.
what I mean? If that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense. I mean,
Because
okay.
all those times that I spoke about, there was never a time where I insulted my husband. There was
Okay.
never a time where I called him out of his name. There was never a time where I embarrassed him or tried to embarrass him. It was never anything like that. But the hormones definitely made me where I probably would have enjoyed a back rub before. No thanks. I wasn't interested. You know
But
what
this
I
was
mean?
during pregnancy, right?
Yes, 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 yes. But I'm just giving examples of hormones because during
Mhm.
pregnancy, those hormones were through the roof. But the same kind of hormone fluctuation happens during the menstrual cycle. I am telling you guys.
You
Who?
know what? You know
Okay.
what? You know what,
Okay.
class?
Fair enough.
You know what I find too.
What's that?
A lot of females will fall back. Okay, in other words, a lot of females are just naturally rude, and then when you call them out on it, they fall back on the whole. It's my hormones doing.
Well, here's what I'll say. If someone, okay, if you tell a female that she's being rude, that
Uh huh.
should be a trigger to say, I didn't realize that. Let me check myself. So it shouldn't be a blaming of the hormones. Like
Okay.
if I catch myself being irritable, I will literally go open the calendar and look and be like, "Oh, okay, that's why." Because it's like, "What is wrong with you?" And then that would be my way of that would
Say
be
my,
my
say my,
way.
I ain't got no shit.
I ain't got no more space in my phone.
I ain't
I
got
ain't got
no
no space
shit.
in my phone for that.
But that's my way of checking myself. You know what I mean? And then you make a conscious effort to, okay, wait, be slow to respond. Like at a time when before you probably didn't need to check yourself, it's like, okay. Okay, that's not that big of a deal, you
Right.
know, just relax. It's not that serious. But if you say to her, okay, you being rude, and immediately, you know, she's like, oh, well, that's my hormone says, she's like on and on and on. No, her first response should be, I'm sorry. That was not my intent. It should be an immediate conviction of, I feel so bad that what I said to you felt hurtful, because that's not what I want. I won't
Let's
say
Or
that again, or I won't do that again.
or or you could just vacate the premises as a man and leave it there with her hormones, and when she get past it, that's that.
Hmm, that's an option too. And that kind of man is for those kind of women. Everybody has somebody. So
if a man does decide to do that,
just decide to do
does
what?
that make just not even acknowledge the rudeness, right? And
Hmm.
leaves you in that own space to marinate with what you just said or
Now,
did.
mind you, now it's not. She shouldn't be being rude.
Totally, I get it.
You
But
have to
even
acknowledge the rudeness though, because if you don't acknowledge it, it becomes a constant normal behavior.
You have to acknowledge it.
You have to
right,
You
acknowledge it.
should. You
I
should.
agree.
You have to acknowledge the rudeness.
Yeah.
I agree. Even in dealing with in raising children,
Yeah,
is
Yeah.
you have to acknowledge that
you
hey,
have
that's not
to.
Yeah,
this
you
is
have
not
to.
cool.
But I'll also say too, though, from a man to a woman, a man could also say something to a woman that he does not think is rude, offensive, or whatnot. And if she doesn't say something, I always tell people, you teach people how to treat you, right?
Yeah.
So if he says something and you don't like it and you don't say anything, he will think that, okay, that went through, that must be okay. So even still, I know for me, if my husband had said something that I'm like I didn't really like, I may say, "Oh, honey, I didn't like that," or "That wasn't
Mm.
nice," or now he hasn't
Hmm.
said anything rude or mean to me, but there are still some things where it's like I didn't like that very much. But then that's like then he's like in recover mode. Wait, now I wasn't trying to say that, and I know because I know him. I know that he's not deliberately saying it to be unkind. So,
Back
but
to what
then
we were
now,
talking about. What disrespect is being intentional is when it's intentional. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. So that wasn't the intent. But then now he knows, okay, well, I know that makes her feel uncomfortable. I'm not gonna say that like that.
I mean, there's some obvious things, and it's probably difficult for. I mean, it's probably best. I'm probably the one to say what I find disrespectful in men, because it seems like one don't really put up with much, and I'm more of a passive person. Like I am more of that person that I would hear it, I would give it a look. I may even speak most times. Most would I say to something to it, or would I just walk away? I probably walk away most of the time
You gotta say something, though, don't you?
because yeah, I mean for me it's more like you grown, and I'm not it's too late to parent you. So
Mm.
in my mind, that's where I'm at. But I get it. I mean, as I mature and understand exactly, that these things, sometimes people don't see it, so they kind of like settle into the behavior, and you kind of set yourself, you kind of sign yourself into a contract to be given that type of behavior all the time, right? You
Or
tell them that it's okay. Hmm.
or that's the way they've always been, and anybody who they were with before never acknowledged it. So they never got the nerve was never hit for them that, hey, that's not nice. That's not something that you say to someone you say you care about. So
Yeah.
they keep going on with life thinking that, okay, that's cool, because that's what they're accustomed to. And if now they're with you and they say it to you, or they react that way to you, and you don't like it, but you too don't say anything, they're back in that place of, okay, well, I guess that's normal. That's normal. It's okay. They're not bothered by it.
I want to do something, and I want to
Honestly,
see how.
honestly though,
Go ahead.
there's a lot of women out here that's never been checked, bro.
I agree.
There's a lot, and what it does is that it gives them the false pretense of whatever they say. That's just how it is. And you have a lot of men out here also that tolerate a lot of shit. The other way around too. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So it's not only one sided, but I've seen a lot of men in public be blatantly, I mean, cussed out. I
I've
mean,
seen
cussed
it.
out
I've
in
seen
a
it.
room full of people,
I've
and
seen it.
he just will laugh it off. And then even if you look around, like to another man, he cheering her on, like, "Oh, bro, well, that's just how it goes. You know how it is."
But you want to know
So
what I think is crazy about that? Those
mm,
women don't even realize they make themselves look stupid.
very stupid.
They make themselves look stupid because, oh, so you with a man you don't even respect? That's
Yeah,
weak.
very
Like,
weak.
like
Very weak.
that's weak.
But you know what? That's weak. That's weak on on both ends.
Yes. Yes.
That's weak on both
Correct.
ends. Yeah,
Correct.
Okay, I want to unpack that right there. So,
yeah.
how should a man behave or respond to a situation like that,
Like what?
Yeah.
where he's
What do you
being
mean?
cussed out in public?
Let me tell you something, bro. I,
Listen. Go ahead,
Not at the
man. Since
same
you're a
time.
man, go ahead, man. I'll let you talk.
I've never been cussed out in public, right? But my reaction would be, I'm leaving you right there. I ain't going back and forth with you. There's no reason for me to go back and forth with you. You understand?
Uh huh.
I know who I am. I'm leaving you right there. And probably
That's me.
10 times out of 10, when you get home, I ain't there. And probably about 2 days after that, you're going to sign on some divorce papers. Yeah,
But
straight
you've
like,
never had to face that though. You've never had to
no,
face it, so you can
no.
only mouth could say anything
Oh,
because
really?
yeah, mouth could say anything. One, I
No,
believe
no, boy.
you. I
No, boy.
believe you, but
Trust me on
but because you haven't
I don't believe
had
him.
to, yeah. See, no, I believe you full of shit, one.
I don't believe him. Okay, so let me say this. Okay, so
Yo.
the good wife that Juan has, that's been with him for all these years,
20
that's
some
been good.
years.
That's right. That's been good to him all these years. He
Hmm.
does
Yeah.
something that upsets her in
Mhm.
public, and the first time ever she cusses him out, she loses
Mhm.
if she cusses him out in public, and 2 days later they get in a divorce. That's a lie.
Listen to me.
That
Listen to
is
me,
a
Ash.
lie.
Hold on. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me.
You know it.
Let me. Hold on. Let me explain to you. Now, see, granted,
Mm-hmm.
Tyson know me for a while. You know me from the show.
Mm-hmm.
If you talk to anybody that know me over 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
they'll tell you exactly what I'm talking about. It's absolutely true. Because let me tell you how my mind works, right? And this ain't just now. This my mind works since I was a young man, right? I'm now in my late 40s. My mind works is that if you let a little thing slide, it escalates. And this goes in business, this goes in relationship, this goes in a lot of things. So that's how my mind works. And my mind also works that I don't give things a chance to escalate into nothing else. Because here's the thing, the people around that witness that disrespect, you may be all cool with her, your significant other again. That stays in their minds forever.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that I care what they think about me, right?
You do.
But at the same, hold on. Let me finish. But at the same time, I don't want to be around nobody that feels if she could talk to me any kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
And if for her to even come to that point to do that, you know how much that takes to tell somebody get the fuck. You know how much
That's
that takes.
bad. That's insulting.
So you know what that's telling me. You know what that's telling me also, like you said earlier, right? Off of your point.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she always wanted to say.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to tell you. So even if you put a band-aid on that,
Mm-mm.
that's still something that's there festering that's going to come out again in some other ways. You might as well call it quits.
I
That's
could
all I'm
see
trying to
that.
say.
I
And
That's
could
the
see
would
that.
reason why I would do that.
I could see that.
how would you feel like that situation should be handled then, Ans? Because you both had something to say in response to that.
No, no. I literally was about to say the same thing one said.
Mm,
I would, if it were me, or if the husband,
Right.
is being yelled and cussed at. If I were him, I would walk away because
yep,
one, who you talking to?
exactly.
And I mean, even as
Hmm.
a female, ain't nobody could talk to me like that.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
at all. Because why? Because for me, I feel like I am at a space where I can sit face to face and have a conversation with someone that I know don't even like me, and I can keep a level head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Why can't, whatever it is, why can't we just have a conversation? And
I
I
agree.
know too that, sometimes when people speak and they're passionate, their tone goes up, and sometimes they don't realize that. So sometimes it's even okay to say, okay, hello, you're yelling. Let's bring it back. That we can talk down here, right? Because there's no need for that. The tone,
No, I've said that before. I've
the
said that.
okay, yes,
I've told her that before. Hey, hold on. You know
right.
what? You
It's getting a little loud.
bring that
Right.
down, man.
And
Bring that down.
and I think it's important to say that because it helps regulate the situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because it's
yeah.
not that the person is trying to be disrespectful, but sometimes when people are speaking, they get passionate about it. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, hello, come back down. So for a person to feel like they could cuss me out in public, honey, that would be the last time you had the opportunity to
You
cuss
see?
me out. That
So
would
what's
be
the
the last
so what's the
time.
difference,
So you
man?
believe one then?
No,
So what's
Yeah.
I was
She
just
believe
I
you.
was just pulling your
She
leg,
just
one. I was
believe
just
you.
pulling your
She
leg.
believe you.
because
Uh,
it goes so many different routes, man, off of that
Yes,
one
yes.
particular insight. That was all over the
And
place,
just
bro.
like I
Trust me.
said before, you teach people how to treat
Mhm.
you.
Yep.
So the moment you allow that to slide, that registers as, oh, that got through.
Yep. What's next?
What's next? What's
What's
next?
next?
And see, and I watched that firsthand. In my previous relationship, watched it. When I look
Yep.
back on it, I could see it. But sometimes when you're in something, you
Yeah, you don't
don't
see it.
you don't see it. It
Hmm.
it started slowly, and then it turned into I wasn't even myself anymore. I have a book coming out on the 30th. I hope y'all get it and read it.
Boop, boop,
Yes, yes,
boop,
yes.
boop,
It's
boop,
the
boop.
it's the first, it's gonna be a series of books. I wasn't even supposed to talk about this, but it's gonna be a series of books, and it touches a little bit on what I'm talking about.
I
But
can pre-order it now.
yes, you definitely can. It's
What's it
called
called?
it's called The Nurse Diaries,
Oh,
Becoming a
okay.
Nurse. That's the first book, Becoming a Nurse. The Nurse Diaries, Becoming a Nurse.
The
Hmm.
Nurse
And
Diaries.
then Becoming a Nurse.
Oh, it's two things, or it's just
No, no,
that's
no.
the
That's
subtitle.
one,
Okay,
because it's going to be a series of books. But the first one is that Becoming a Nurse.
okay.
On the 30th of this month, it's going to be an ebook and paperback.
Mm.
Hold on. Let
Mhm.
me let me let me do something right quick. Hold on now.
I might
Hold
have,
on.
I might have to get with you to find out how you connect on how you made that possible.
Absolutely, Juan. I feel like
Everybody want to read my book. It's called Stop Giving a Fuck.
Uh,
That's awesome
let
stuff.
me see here. Okay, where do I find it? This one right here. All right, cool. Yeah, let me do this right quick. Hold on now.
okay, what you doing, Dyson? Oh,
You
yep,
get
that's the
it?
one. That's the
Okay,
one. That
this one
is
right
it.
here.
Yep, that's the Kindle edition. The paperback edition is still in review. That usually takes 3 days. So
Okay,
when
All
that's
right.
released, then you'll be able to buy it that way too. But yep, yep,
solid.
yep.
Well,
So check it
that's-
out. Check it out. It's a good
Hey,
I
read.
don't
she
I
didn't
don't
even
have
go
a
by
Kindle.
she didn't even go by a pseudonym. She put a real name up there.
Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
don't
As
I
the
don't have a
I'm the
Kindle.
author.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Take this down.
Stuff,
I
stuff.
don't have a Kindle, so I can't.
Wait for the paperback.
Yeah, I could wait for the paperback one, but I would have knocked that out just now.
Yeah.
All right,
Aw,
looking
thanks,
forward to that then.
Dyson. Okay, sweet.
The Nurse Diaries, Becoming a Nurse.
Yeah.
All right, that's wonderful, Lance. Congratulations on
Oh,
that.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Um,
you.
I wanted to do something in okay, back on the topic of what men find disrespectful. Look at my face now, because this is where a lot of women speak. People too, but women speak right here, right? Um, and for
Yo,
those listening to the podcast, you won't see this, but I would narrate what I did after I do it.
yeah.
So here it goes.
That action right there.
Okay, reason Hans is laughing, ladies and gentlemen, because I just rolled my eyes and muttered some really nasty things
Mm.
with my lips and cut my eye to the deepest cut it could cut.
Hmm.
You know
Right?
what you say? You know what you say at that?
Go
What was
ahead.
that? That's what you say. What was that?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you asked for clarification.
What was that?
Yeah. What would you just say?
What was that? Speak up. But Tyson, listen. At the same time, right? You
Yeah.
gotta still. I said this to you before, one on one too. You gotta understand. They're still women, bro.
Uh-huh.
You understand? They still got
Mhm.
their little quirks about them. They ain't
Yeah.
us. You
Right.
understand? So the rolling the eyes and that's just a women are, bro.
But
You
what a
understand?
woman, if
Like that,
these
like
are
that.
most of the women I'm talking, okay, most of the,
Because Dyson, I got a question for you.
go ahead.
So, because many times I will hear you guys talk about, the things,
Who's you guys?
the
Who's you
things
guys?
of women that you don't like,
I
right?
ain't that.
Okay, Dyson. Well, what are things? Because let me tell you, sometimes when I hear guys, like I've come across posts where guys are going in on women about they don't like that women do this, they don't like the women do that.
Uh-huh.
And for me, it's like, so you want a man then?
Hmm.
Because women are different, just like JP just said. Women are different. There are
Yeah.
certain quirks about them that are
Yeah.
just totally different, so
So
you
they are.
cannot expect for a woman to act
Mhm.
like a man.
Yeah.
Okay. So oh Jesus,
you
just
may
dropped my
not you
phone.
may not roll your eyes, but that may be her way of, I'm not gonna disrespect this man, so
You
let
know what
me
though?
just.
I got him, man. I got him. Check this out, Dyson. Now, if you tell me you never did this on your face, you lie. You straight fucking lying right now.
Let me
Let
see
me see.
Now, if if
what
if
the
if,
face
if,
is.
if you if you in a room, right, and she called your name, you never did it. Tell me you never did that.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
the
Yeah.
that's the
But she have
equivalent to her rolling her eyes.
Yes.
That's all
yeah,
it
but
is.
I'm not okay, but I'm not doing that for her to see.
But you do. Guess what? You'll do it and don't even know she see it.
That's it there too.
But
You'll
my
do it. You don't know
intention
she
is
doing
not for her to
things.
see. When I did my when I
But see, for her, she doesn't care if you see,
You know what it is, Dyson?
because
exactly.
she's just being.
She can't. You know what it is? She can't physically do nothing to you, bro. Or
I
you
know
know.
I get it. I get it. I
So
get
so
it.
so so these are the little things that they do in their own little personal space as a power play in their own mind. Like, so the hell? That's all it is, bro.
And sometimes it's a way to just get a little bit of frustration out, a
That's
little
it.
bit, because it ain't even yelling. It's just.
Hmm.
Look, but the
You know
thing
what I mean?
is, everybody gets that. Not just the husbands. The kids get
Yeah.
it.
They just
Co-workers
get it
get
too.
it.
And you want to know what's even funnier too? I bet your kids do it to you too, and you don't even know they're doing it.
Oh,
I was about
oh,
I was
oh,
about to
yes.
say I was about to say okay, when kids do it, especially as
Yeah.
black parents, if a child does that and we see it happening,
Yeah.
that's a problem.
What
Yeah.
was that?
What was
But
that?
here,
That's a
but
problem.
here's
That's
the thing
exactly what I want to
though.
say. What did you say? What?
But the thing is, when I ask my kids, what did they say? I genuinely want to know what you said, because if you are feeling something, we can talk about it. If
Oh
you
no,
don't
no.
understand why I said something or why I'm doing something, and you feel something under your breath, because here's my logic. I find that when people know the reasoning behind things, they are more able to just go with it. For example, today we got some organic apples, and my 7-year-old wanted one. So I got it for her. I peeled the skin off and gave it to her. She ate it. She's like, Mommy, can I have another one? She said, but this time, can I have the skin on? And I said, no, baby, you can't have the skin on. I'm just going to peel it. So she's like, but why? So I turned the knife over and started scraping the skin on the apple. And there was
Right.
all the wax. And I
Hmm.
said, see, this is why mommy doesn't want you to have the skin. because you
Right.
want to eat the apple now. So the
Right.
quickest way is for me to just peel that off, and here you go, you can enjoy it. She didn't even ask about skin anymore. So now she
Mm.
knows, instead of over there like, but I wanted the skin on the apple. She
Right.
knows the reason behind it. So
Right.
when they do, say things under their breath, and I said, what was that? It's a genuine, what was that? If we need to communicate, we can communicate. I am not above explaining things to my kids.
My what is that? Say it again. I dare you.
You know
What
what
in there?
though? But you know what though? I believe that's a lot of the disposition of men. And I think
Mm.
that's important because men are the authority figure. They are the, they may put
Don't
the
don't
fear
get
in.
canceled, Lawrence. Don't get canceled.
No, but I think that's a beautiful thing. I think it should be.
Hold on. She getting canceled, license.
Say it again. What she say?
She
Hold
get.
on, wait.
It's about time she get one. It's about time she get one, bro. She been dodging that from season one.
Views in the Sup'm Show are for entertainment only. Sup'm Show does not guarantee, vouch for, or endorse any of its contents, nor is responsible for them in any way whatsoever. All consumers assume accountability for fact checking all content delivered by or through the Sup'm Show, its host and guests. All right,
Bang. God
continuing
I'm
knows.
on.
just
Continuing on.
saying.
I
I'm
hear one
just
of them every week.
saying that a woman that is in her true femininity
Right,
and a man that
Uh-oh.
is
which is a
in his
powerful place.
Uh-oh.
masculinity,
Hmm.
I
Uh-oh.
feel that naturally men are more sterner on on
What?
on the kids, and
What?
the women are more softer.
Stop.
Like
Stop that.
even if your husband may be about to put down the law. Okay, no TV for a week. And then we have a side conversation. I'm like, honey, how about just 2 days? Not a whole week.
I totally agree. And
You
the
know?
only
And then he'd
the
be
ex-
like, no tea for you either.
Wait a minute now. I'm not one of the kids.
the real life exception to that, and that's why I like the dynamic that we have here on the Sup'm Show, is that I myself, as a parent that isn't in the house
Right.
with my
Mm.
children, right?
Right. Yes.
That kind of puts me in a different category because I overcompensate for my absence by allowing the children to do more than what I would usually let children do if they are in my house.
So you spoiler.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty
So
Huh?
much.
what's
So I
the
defend I
what's
defend a lot.
what's the relationship like
Mm.
with their mothers?
In terms of parenting
No.
or
Okay, here's what
co-parenting.
co-parenting. Co-parenting.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in terms of co-parenting, I would say that it's different. It's
Mm.
different according to the household. My oldest children, it's always been a matter of I I get calls when they're doing something out of the way, and I'm expected to back the punishment or
Okay.
set the punishment, right?
Okay.
And in those situations, I would often do what you did, which is help me understand what's happening. And I would be
Right.
talking not to the mother, but to the children. Help me understand what's going on,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Um, and then I would, either agree or disagree
Hmm.
with the expected punishment or
Right.
chastisement or
Yeah.
discipline,
Okay.
in that. And then in others, in the I'm expected to just, um I guess, carry through what has already been put in place.
Mm.
I'm expected to carry through the standards,
Right.
and
Hmm.
all the set rules and regulations of how this child is supposed to be raised.
Right.
And I don't I don't mind it because growing up between homes myself, I know what it is to have one rule book in one house and totally
Yeah.
different in the next, right?
Right.
And
Yes.
and I felt as though that kind of stifled my progress a bit, and kind
Mm.
of like slowed me reaching my full potential. And I don't want to
Mm.
do that with this child, so, or
Right.
any of my children per
Right.
se. But I do want to what I respect. I mean, what I can't see, what I don't know, like I don't
Mhm.
know if they are having a balanced life,
Mm,
right? Meaning, if you get discipline for this at this level, that you also get praised for what you did right at this level.
right.
You know what I mean? Like it's
Yes.
because a lot of times you get no praise, you just only get discipline when you do something wrong. But
Right.
I like for the
Keep the
balance
same energy.
to be the same energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and because I'm not there consistently, I can't say. So the way I see the children is always like in the best light, like in their full potential. Like I see them what they can be, and then I try to facilitate making that
Mm.
happen. All right. So um in that regard, I could see oftentimes when I would be looked at as being disrespectful to the standards that are in place, right? Because I don't respect what the mother has determined
Right.
is what's necessary
Mm-hmm.
for her children that are living in her house,
Right.
right? But at the
Right.
same time, even though I'm not in that house, and this speaks to a lot of men out there that do have children that they don't have in the house with them,
Mm-hmm.
um, how what is the expectation? And let's put this on both of you, because you one, you have your kids in your house and been married for a very long time, and aunts, you have all of your kids in your house, because most women do, right?
Mm-hmm.
um how is a man to be to vie for, or should he even have to, let me even say it like that, should he even expect for that household to respect him even though he's not in it?
Respect him how?
Respect him that.
Because I have children from my previous marriage that are, in my household. So,
Mhm. let's say let's say
It all
you took
depends
the
on how
kids
you
to the
respect.
dentist.
hmm
You took the kids to the dentist. The dentist
right.
say they can't have this type of candy. I know that it's their favorite type of candy. So whenever I have them on the weekend, I always send them home with a little stash of candy. And I know that you told me already they're not supposed to have this candy, right? So
hmm
it's like I'm disrespecting the standard that you've set. We don't do candy in this house. Okay, fine. I think it's still a child. I get what the dentists say. I don't really like doctors like that. Say still on their baby teeth. I make a
But why?
determination.
But
But
why? But
here's what I,
go ahead.
'cause, we actually experienced something like that because we changed our lifestyle a few years ago, in what we eat.
Hmm.
And what we noticed when we changed our diet, our youngest girl, she used to have eczema really bad. The baby too, baby boy too, had eczema really
Hmm.
bad. We changed our diet, it went away. One
Mm.
of the things we eliminated was dairy. We eliminated dairy from our diet.
Okay.
So when it was time for the older kids to go and visit their dad, I made him aware of this change. I even told him the evidence that backed it. And I mean evidence as in what we saw, how it worked in a positive way for our girl. And even though I said that,
Come back with it in SEMA.
no, no, no,
Eczema.
not even the next day, I got a phone call because she was up there vomiting real bad. And I'm like, well, what did you give her? She had something that had dairy in it. And I'm like,
Didn't I just tell
but
you?
but
This
here's the
motherfucker,
thing.
I just told you that you get a goddamn fucking dairy.
But here's the type of person I am though. I feel like it's because sometimes I feel like it's my nurse brain. I am okay, that's already happened. How do we stop it from happening again? So for me it was like, okay, so don't give her any more of that. Make sure of this, make sure of that. She should be fine. But even still, here's what he will still do to this day. When they're coming back, a bunch of junk.
Hmm.
I mean, junk. And here's
Well,
the
you know
Right.
what
thing,
that is,
though.
right?
Here's the thing: the children know this. So let me tell you about what the kids will do. Even though he will stop at a gas station on the way to bring them back and have them pick up all that stuff, the moment they get in the car, they'll say, Mama, we know we can't even eat this.
Yeah.
So then it turns to be a waste of money because
Right.
all that Gatorade with this artificial color and all of this and see all that stuff goes right into the trash.
Wow.
And for me, it's like I feel like it's deliberate because I feel like it's deliberate because I feel
I was
like
just about to say that.
yeah, because I feel like if someone else had said that to him, he
You would
would
do
be
it.
doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I
Yeah.
feel like the only thing that's probably stopping him from allowing the dairy is because he saw her physically get sick.
Yeah.
But I'm
Mhm.
telling you, when she would come back, I mean, she's digging and scratching, and
Mhm.
immediately my husband will say, "Okay, we got to do a detox. Like,
Yeah.
we got to get that out your system, you know."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so I feel like you have some people who are deliberately against you,
Yeah.
no matter what, no matter how.
Intentional tactics to inflict
Oh
pain.
yes,
Yeah.
oh yes,
Listen. I wouldn't say deliberately against you. I think it's just a okay. You with daddy. Daddy's the favorite. Daddy do this. Daddy do that. Or the other way around.
yeah,
The same
Right.
way how Dyson say, "Oh, when I drop him back again on the stash of candy."
right.
That's just something to be like, well, daddy, he does this, but you don't do
Yeah.
that. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
it's just a play
Overcompensation.
on.
But here's
Yeah.
the thing though. Here's the thing with that though, Juan.
Mm,
That could be true, and
That
let's
remind me
just
of
say
something.
that that is the truth. That's exactly what it is. That's what he just wants to leave a little razzle dazzle before they go back, right? But do you know if there was a conversation, I could point him in the direction of some that are have at least have benefits that don't have all these artificial dyes
you
that
still won't do it. You still won't do it. Well, at that point, I don't know.
Well, I just want to reiterate
I tried.
to
I
men
tried to
that
save you. I
you
tried to
did.
save you. I
yeah,
tried.
yeah.
Yeah.
But let me yeah, no, no, but I want to reiterate. I just want to reiterate something for men that are the same as me, that have children outside of the household. And that's that I lean on the mothers a lot
Mm.
for to find out what's happening with them, to find out, how to deal with certain behaviors, what to expect when they're in my care. Their schedules. I try to keep their schedules, who's doing what
You're
when.
so good, Dyson.
I mean, because the
And that's not
intention.
sarcasm. I mean, that's
I,
commendable.
I tried to find my violin now, so I can start playing while he's talking.
The reason for that is because it ain't about me and it ain't about their mommy. It's about
The
them.
children.
It's about the
Oh,
child.
say it.
It's about the child,
Say
right?
it.
And I want them,
Ugh.
unlike how I feel about myself, I want
Mm.
them to reach their full potential when it's time for them to hit that full potential. And to me, that's around the age of 13, 14. They should be in the groove. You
And
know
I
what I
will
mean?
tell you, you have some, let me say this, you have some deadbeat mothers. You hear me?
Oh, let me say, hold on,
Throw
wait,
it up, throw
pause,
it up, throw it
Deadbeat
up,
pause,
throw it up, throw it
mothers.
up, sir.
pause.
Throw it
I
up,
don't want, yeah,
throw
hold
it up,
on.
throw it
Oh,
up.
yeah.
She gets two for the day. Man, she want to
Yo,
call.
no, y'all, let me tell y'all, I have seen, man, I have seen firsthand, and I'm the type of person where it's like,
Honestly, ladies and
yeah,
gentlemen.
I'm just taking what you say because a dude could say anything. But
Right.
I have
You've seen it.
witnessed
Yeah, you've seen it.
how
Yeah.
women can be malicious to hurt a
To the,
man that they are
yeah,
Through the
hurting their
kids.
the
children.
detriment of
Through the
children.
kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
it blows my mind. I don't
yeah.
understand it. I don't know how to process it. I don't know what to do about it because even if my ex-husband is pissing me off, the children will not know.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he
Yeah.
says he wants to get them this weekend and we're not doing anything,
Hmm.
yes, you can.
Yeah.
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 You can. If
Yeah.
anything, I was the one taking him to court to say, hey, you need to get more time with your children.
Yeah.
And then so
Ooh,
it's like when I see these women
that's
who
the next
have
show.
men, who have fathers that want to be present in their
Yeah.
children's life, and you have
Yeah.
these women who are being blockers. I mean, blocking them physically, trying to paint
Yeah.
to the world that they are single mothers when they don't have to be,
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
trying to
Ooh.
extort them. Oh, I might
Tyson.
let you
Oh
see
my
your
God.
daughter if you send me
Oh,
$3,500 first.
oh shit.
Because
Hey, hey,
no,
Ooh.
hey,
I'm
hey,
serious.
Oh
But
boy,
hear
look
me out,
here.
guys.
Look
Hear
at
me
she
out.
making
here.
me scared.
Listen,
She making me
because
feel
let me
like a
Oh
tell
dog.
you,
my
it,
goodness.
She
it
making,
it's
she
one
making me
thing.
feel like a single mother.
It's one thing when you hear guys talk about this, right? But then when
Yeah.
you witness it happening to them, peep this. Imagine this, right?
Hmm.
Tyson,
Oh
you're
boy.
married to someone new, okay?
New, brand new.
You're one of your children's mom tells your kid to say, "Hey, let your daddy know when he comes to town. I need him to stop by my job to see me." You say, "Okay, cool." You go there, you take your new wife with you. Guys both go inside. "Hey, you wanted to see me?" And I mean, and she beat to the gods, honey. Makeup do, fixed right up. And she says, "I didn't tell her that.
Hmm.
No, no." And then ask the child, who all coming with him?
That's suspicious.
That's
Yeah,
suspicious. It's
yeah.
Suspicious
like,
behavior.
hey, listen,
That's diabolical right now.
it is diabolical. It is not
That's
about the kid.
diabolical.
No matter
Yeah,
how they try to say it is not. Because if
yeah,
they
it's
were
not.
thinking about the child, when we
Yeah.
are when the that dad is planning stuff and he's doing stuff and he wants to include his children, and you're like, no, why you want to be father of the year? Huh? What? Doesn't your kid deserve father of the year?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
don't they deserve father of the year?
Listen,
Yeah.
just let's let her go. Let her talk. Let her shut up,
I'm
Tyson. Let her
sorry.
go.
I'm sorry,
Let her
guys.
go. Let her go.
But
Let her go.
that
Let her go. Let her go.
is just insane. And there are
That's a
many
whole nother show.
cultures that
Hmm.
side with the women more than they do the men.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't always be like that, because it's not always just the mothers who have the best interest of the children at heart.
Yeah. And I think
And
that's
and with
probably
that,
with the
folks.
show topic. I don't know how we're gonna word that, but and we've spoken about that. Oh, go ahead, Juan. Sorry.
I see. And with that, we're gonna close the show.
Yeah, yeah, we have to close the show. I but look
Maybe
forward.
it should be called that, deadbeat mothers.
Deadbeat mothers. Oh my
Oh shit, Tyson, you.
god.
Oh. Hey, in the words of the great Dr. Kent
I'm
Mustafa
saying,
song here
but you
today,
know
right?
what though?
They're
Here's the
trying to get
thing.
us canceled.
My no, y'all, because my thing is this, right? For
Woo,
me, if
hallelujah.
somebody is going to disappoint my children, it could be their
Hmm.
daddy. It ain't gonna be me keeping them away from it. No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Go
Okay.
to him. If he let them down, then that's him doing it. They won't
yeah,
ever be able to say, "Mommy stopped me from going
yeah,
to see my dad. She stopped
yeah,
me from doing this and doing that." No.
yeah.
So
Let's have that conversation. Let's
not
definitely
today.
do that
I'm
show. No, let's do
Ah,
it. It might be the next show. Let's do it.
ah,
Um
ah.
but yeah, we gonna have to close the show. We gonna have to close the show with that. Uh, we do encourage you, those of you watching the show, if you have topics that you want us to discuss, you can just shoot us an email at
Yikes!
thesupmshow@gmail.com, or hit us up on any
Yikes!
one of the socials, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Yikes!
We'll check the comments and try to add it into our discussion. It's always interesting to know what the world is going through on this level, like on that personal level,
Yes.
like what you
Mhm.
going and
And,
um
and to add, right, to add on to it, if any one of y'all want any more information on what Ants was saying, go to www.antsdon'tgiveafuckonthisshow.com.
cool.
Let me go make that website real quick.
Yeah. Don't come to the something show looking for pampering you. That's all I gotta
Mm-mm,
say. Because it
mm-mm,
ain't being pampering me. It ain't gonna be
mm-mm.
pampering you. Don't
And I hope
come
the
here to get the
messages
raw.
get to exactly where they need to get.
Yeah, you get the raw dog. All right, all
And
right. So
y'all thought I was mad.
you well behaved today.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
What Men Find Disrespectful, the Sup'm Show, Season 2, Episode 8. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for watching. We out. Peace.
Bye.
God damn.